freedom of speech never really existed. Being a religious leader doesn't make you right. A dictator has been taken out. We don't want somebody who we have not chosen. Reza Pahlavi has to come back. We Iranians have been crying out loud.
A distressing situation, a state of war, and not just Indians or other nationalities, but every person right now who is going through it has been in a suffer state. So here we are welcoming Elnaaz Norouzi to talk about what is her perception on it. So, hi, welcome to Midday.
Hi.
Firstly, you already mentioned once that it's not safe for you to now go back to Iran. So do you think that opposing a leader has become a crime in a way that there's no freedom of speech if you are opposing someone there?
Yeah, but this is nothing new. This is freedom of speech never really existed in Iran. And that is why we have so many political prisoners in Iran as well. There are many thousands of innocent people who have been imprisoned, tortured, raped because they have spoken against the government.
And there was one of the incidents where even wearing hijab improperly also triggered a massive issue in the state.
Yes.
So how difficult does it become for women to stay in such a space where being liberal is a crime?
At this point, it has surpassed the point of women and men. But yes, if we talk about specifically about women, women have almost no rights in Iran, starting from the morality police going after them constantly, starting with the fact that as a woman you're not allowed in stadiums. As a woman in court, your statement is half as worth of what a man says. As a woman, you're not allowed to travel without your husband's permission. As a woman, you cannot ask for a divorce easily. There are, I can count, but I think this is the main problem that we're dealing with right now, is that the world is so uninformed about what's going in Iran.
Right.
And this regime has done such a great job with secluding the Iranians so much from the world that now the world is getting to know what's happening because America and Israel have come in. Otherwise, this is nothing new. We Iranians have been crying out loud, trying to tell the world that that's what's happening. In fact, you have a very simple comparison, which was just about yesterday. In January 8th and 9th, when the people of Iran were being killed in masses,
right,
and we were constantly talking about it, and we were constantly saying, hey, guys, and we were drawing comparisons between Palestine because that's something people always listen to. So we were saying there are more people who have died now in 2 days than in the whole war between Palestine and Israel.
Right.
Please listen to us. But nobody was really listening. 1 month after that, when the talks come about America and Israel getting in, suddenly everybody cares about Iran.
right.
And that's what's really hurtful, because we have been crying out loud, trying to tell the world what's going on in Iran since 47 years.
Correct.
People before me, and people after me, and people next to me in different countries are talking about it. And we only have 5 million Iranians in the diaspora. But they've been talking about it because they're the only ones who can talk about it, because if in Iran anybody talks about it, they're going to be silenced.
Right.
So there is not many options we have, and it's really heartbreaking to see people not believing us. Sometimes I wonder, why would we lie?
Exactly.
You know? It's just like, what is the reason for us to say that we're being oppressed and our people are dying? What's the reason? If everybody was happy with the country, if everybody was happy with the leadership, why would we want them gone?
Right. So do you think that, US, Israel striking Ali Khamenei, so do you think it was fair at any point?
If you ask me, as an Iranian who was born in Iran, who has lived in Iran, who has lived under his leadership, who has family who's living under his leadership, who has friends who are living under his leadership, I will tell you that a dictator has been taken out. A terrorist that has taken many, many people's lives has been taken out. A person who has chanted and has made millions of Iranians chant death to America for 47 years
Right.
has been taken out. A person who's been building nuclear bombs in hiding
Right.
to attack the American people and America and the Israeli people and Israel for years and years has been taken out. This is a big win for the whole world. It's just that the world doesn't understand. We understand it because we've lived with it and we know it. But unfortunately, the people just look at it from one lens. And that is, oh, he was a religious leader. But being a religious leader doesn't make you right when
Correct.
you do wrong. Right?
As you rightly mentioned that, he was a religious leader, and that is somewhere so many parts of India, especially right now, are coming out in support of him. And I think you would be one of those few, especially in India, who has, voiced that, y'all are supporting the wrong cause. So how difficult does it be for you now, especially with all the political, I would say, a commotion or a conflict that is happening between countries? Staying in either of the countries, how safe do you find it yet?
See, I've always felt safe in India because it is a safe country. It is a country that has leaders that care about their people. And that is something that I really appreciate because I have lived in a country, and my country is a country where the leaders don't care about their people. So when I see leaders care about their people, when I see how the leaders of the UAE are so very well taking care of those missiles and making sure that the people can just live their normal lives.
Yes.
I feel so proud, even though they're not my leaders, but I feel proud because I'm like, this is how you're supposed to take care of your people.
Right.
And not the way our regime is killing our own people. So I do see there are a lot of death threats for me. There are a lot of people who disagree with me. And this is where we come back to this whole point of freedom of speech. We come back to live and let live. And that's what the Iranian people are saying. We're all saying we would like to live the way we would like to, and we're okay with letting you live the way you want to. But what is happening in Iran is that these leaders and these people from this very narrow mindset want to force the rest of the people to live the way they want to live. And this is what we're against. We're not against the religion. I have many, many Muslim friends. I love my Muslim brothers and sisters. This has nothing to do with religion. It has only to do with the fact that humans should be able to decide for themselves the way they would like to live. Just
Right.
how Muslims like to dress a certain way, talk a certain way, do things a certain way they would like to, and we respect that.
Correct.
The same way we would like our people we have so many Christians, we have so many Baha'is in Iran, we have so many Zoroastrians, we have so many different people from different religions, and they would also like to be respected. That's all that the Iranian people are saying.
So do you think with the threats that you've gotten here as well, is it safe for you to be here as well?
I don't know. I feel quite safe. I have a lot of faith in India, and I have been feeling very safe in this country for the past many years that I live here. And I do understand that a lot of people react emotionally to the things that are happening, but I would like to tell them that this is not against their religion or their beliefs. What they need to do is remove that lens, leave that aside, and come to humanity first and understand what humans are going through at this point.
Right. As you rightly mentioned about, a plethora of religions being a part of the country. So if we look back a few years, Shah's rule also managed to have better international relations. And it somehow gave a space to every religion that was there in that country to feel safe comparatively than what now the Iranians are suffering in.
You know, it's a very, very interesting point. The Shah of Iran was a Muslim himself. The coronation of our queen happened at a time when Azan was happening. He made sure that all the Muslims in Iran are safe. He made sure that every Iranian is safe, regardless of what religion they practice. And this is what a leader should be doing. Regardless of your religion, you should be feeling safe in the country.
Right.
And this is what we want back. This is what the people of Iran want back. When you hear them chant, Reza Pahlavi has to come back. That's what they want. They want democracy. They want to be able to live with their beliefs without fearing death.
So with the recent leaders, Iran then became known as the Islamic State. However, the citizens never considered it. So what is your take on that?
See, I feel like the minute you're forced to do something, you naturally want to oppose it. Whatever it may be it clothing, be it a certain type of ideology, be it religion, be it anything. If today somebody forces me to go to the gym, I will not enjoy it and I will hate it. And I will do everything to stop to go to the gym. But if I'm being taught that the gym is good for me, because I'm going to lose weight, because I'm going to be healthy, because I'm going to be strong, then I would love to do that.
Right.
I'm just trying to give you a very simple and stupid comparison. But it is that.
Right.
When a whole nation is forced to do something for years and years, and if they don't do it, they're being hurt and killed, then you naturally wonder, is this the right thing? This doesn't seem to be right. Right?
So now with the new leader, do you think women will feel free or safe under the leadership?
Which new leader?
Mojtaba.
Yeah, okay. He is the son of Ali Khamenei. He is another person that was not elected by the Iranian people.
So again, the safety is still at the mark.
Yes, because he has the same views. He supports the same barbaric thoughts that his father had. And besides any of that, Iranians are saying we would like to choose our leader ourselves. We don't want supreme leaders. We don't want somebody who we have not chosen. That's the only thing. Why? Since when in a democratic world in 2026 should anybody else decide who rules over 90 million people? The people should be deciding that for themselves. And the people have decided they want the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi back.
It's still a war. It's still a battle.
It's still a battle, and it's going to be a long battle. Because as we see, there are so many people who are on their side as well. But that's okay. Again, coming back to you're allowed to have your opinion. But don't force the rest. And in a country that has so many people, the majority decides. Just like how in Germany you go and vote and the majority decides. Just how, like in America, you go and vote and the majority decides.
Right.
Just how anywhere else where you vote and the majority decides. Of course, no leader in this world has 100% votes. Have you ever seen a leader that has 100% votes?
No. That's
Right?
never going to be.
That's never going to be. There will be people who support the opposition.
Right.
And there will be people who don't. And that's okay. But at the end of the day, even if only 51% vote for another leader, it means that this is what the majority wants. And the majority counts.
So, GCC countries' relation with Iran has always been very volatile, I would say, because of the whole Shia-Sunni supremacy, where Iran has high on count of Shias and the GCC countries are majorly Sunni Muslims. So, there has been this sideline that has they've gathered against it, and now with these strikes, what are your views on it? I mean, how it's already a scarred relation, and now it's going to be something more huge than what it was.
Yeah, and that should say everything, right? That should say everything about those countries who are doing well and who are against the leadership, the
Right.
way the leadership in Iran is and the way they're leading. Those countries are against them.
Yeah.
So it does show you somewhat that there is something wrong. Because why are you okay traveling to Dubai and doing your holidays there and enjoying your time there? Why are you not doing that in Iran?
Right. The tourism also suffers because this
Forget about tourism suffering. You can go, but are you going to be able to do the things that you're doing in Dubai?
No.
No. So this is not the country that you would choose
Hmm.
for a good time.
Right.
So why is it okay for Iranians to live under that?
Right. Correct.
Right? I mean, it's simple math. It's just that people don't want to understand it.
So, how has your family been reacting, especially with all the threats that keep coming?
I mean, of course, my family is worried. Not only my family, there are so many friends who message me and say, "Hey, please be careful." And I understand. A lot of people also tell me, "Stop talking about it. Don't put your life in jeopardy just because of this, and just let it go." And then I have to think about, what is the purpose in life when you don't stand for what's right?
Right.
You know, when there have been so many people who throughout these years have died. Many people died from 1979 till 2026. The 50,000 people who died right now are not the only people who died. It's been many, many years. Iran is one of the few countries which still has such high number of executions by hanging. They hang people in the open from a crane for everybody else to see. Now tell me that's right.
It's not. So,
and those people,
yeah.
Do you know who those people are? Those are gays. Those are political prisoners. Those are people like you and me who just dared to say we think differently.
Right. So, in a state where safety becomes everyone's priority as a mindset, you coming from there, what changed for you, especially when you came to a country like India?
Everything changes for you when you come from a country where you have nothing. As heartbreaking as it is, I had to leave the country that I belonged to go to a country like Germany, where I was an outsider, where I was extremely bullied in school because I didn't speak the language. And I still had to be the class topper because I wanted to make sure that people understand that just because I've come from another country that is oppressed, it does not mean that I'm not smart and that I can't do as well as you. And that's a lot of pressure. While you're being, every day going to school was the hardest thing to do for me because I knew I'm going to go to school and I don't have a single friend and everybody's against me because I'm a foreigner. At that age, especially with the Germans, we know how the Germans are. So I had to fight with that. And then I had a dream of coming to India and becoming an actress here. And again, when I had just started to belong in Germany, I came to India where I didn't belong again. And I had to find my way. But how beautiful is that India accepted me, that India welcomed me with open arms, and that India is allowing me to talk about the atrocities that are going on in my country, where if I was in that country myself, I would have not been able to talk about it.
Right.
So you have to, only when you have lived with the regime in Iran will you understand what freedom actually looks like and what it means, and how grateful. If you see any Iranian anywhere abroad, there are more than 5 million of us abroad. We respect the rules of the country we go to. We respect the government of the country that we go to, because those are the people who gave us refuge when we had nowhere to go. So we understand what great leadership is, because we have seen what great leadership should be and what it is not. You know?
Totally. So the war has been long. It's been for decades now. And I think more than any political person or anyone at the higher strata suffering are the people. And they're losing out not just on their lives, but on their basic rights. Iran-Israel and the whole conflict, it's been for years. I mean, there has always been a conflict through something or the other. And it has affected the country at the most adverse level. So what would be your opinion? You know, where is the end to all this?
The end of the wars in the Middle East is with the end of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran has been creating unrest in the entire Middle East through their proxies, who are Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, ISIS.
And we know it all.
They have been funding Hamas billions and billions of dollars. You know what I find funny is when people come and try and tell me that, oh, you think America is doing this for this and that, they want your oil and whatever. And I'm like, how much of the oil that Iran has do you think the Iranian people are getting right now?
None.
In 2019, people went on the road saying, why are the gas prices so high when we are the third country in the world with the biggest reserve? Because what was the regime doing? The regime was taking that money and funding Hamas. The regime was taking the money of our resources and funding Hezbollah. The regime was taking the tax money of the Iranians and funding Houthis, who killed so many Yemenis, who killed so many Palestinians, who killed so many of the Syrians.
Yeah.
This is happening. Why did what happened in Iraq happen after America left? Because the Islamic Republic came and took power. Not because Iraq couldn't do it themselves. So once you remove the Islamic Republic of Iran, this regime, the Ayatollahs, once you remove the clerics, there will be peace all over the Middle East. Because all the funding is going to be gone. And all of those terrorist groups will crumble.
Right, because they'll not have any resource to put on.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But yes, I wrap my questions here. However, I just hope you have more peace. And may your family also be very safe with all of this.
May the whole world understand that the fight that we Iranians are fighting with this regime is not just our fight. I really hope that the world understands that what we want the world to know is that once this regime is gone, the world is going to be a better place, all in all, and not just Iran. And that is really the sole reason why I'm trying to give my time to this and trying to make people understand.
The world doesn't stop, neither do we. Subscribe to Midday for news that matters.